What the heck is an escrow account and how does it even work? My name's Evan Kaufman, your VA loan educator, here to help explain. So escrow accounts can mean one of two things, and we're going to go over both of those. We could be talking about what I like to call the pre-closing escrow and the post-closing escrow. And it's a definite common term that's used interchangeably, and it can sometimes confuse folks, so we want to make sure we get it clear. First, let's look at the pre-closing escrow setup. When we're talking about escrow pre-closing, that generally means we're talking about the title company setting up to prepare to close the whole loan in a process. Meaning, let's say you get a home under contract or you have a refinance that you're doing and you want to make sure that you get the deal done. You might hear the term, oh, hey, we need to open escrow in some states like California and stuff. They'll say open escrow, meaning they're going to work with the title company to get things ready. Or they're going to say, hey, we need to make sure we put funds into escrow to get ready for closing. And that's where effectively the escrow up front is where you have an escrow officer, a title officer, a team, it could be an attorney who's collecting all the funds up front and then dispersing them to everyone at the end. So let's take a purchase, for example. In a purchase scenario, that would be the escrow officer or the title office that will be working the escrow. They're going to be the third party that effectively the buyer will send funds to, the seller will send any receipts they have for the sale of the home to, and then at the end, the lender will send their funds in if there's a loan involved, and then they will go ahead and disperse everything at the time of closing. Kind of think of that initial escrow part as almost like a trusted party that will help handle all the funds of everything. So you often heard the term escrow there. Again, opening escrow, working with an escrow officer, preparing all of those items. Then though, there's the post-close escrow thing, which you have to be aware of in the pre-close, because post-close escrow is what we're generally referring to an account that's used to pay out things such as generally taxes and insurance. It could be used for other things too, but the primary two things are you'll hear of an escrow account used for taxes and insurance. Now, when you're closing on a home, you'll usually see on your loan documents, escrow account. That's not the title escrow office. That's for post-close, the escrow account that will pay out for your taxes and insurance. So what does that exactly look like? Most mortgages, if you had to ask me on a gut guess, I'd say 95% of mortgages end up having an escrow account after closing. And that's where rather than you as a borrower or a homeowner, let's say it was a refinance for stuff, you as a homeowner have the mortgage, rather than pay your principal and interest to your lender, your taxes and your insurance all separately, you pay it all into one account. And that's where you have what's called an escrow account, where you're going to pay your principal and interest, and then in escrow, you're going to build up your taxes and insurance. Again, it's like a third-party account, kind of like that third party in the beginning when the title office is doing stuff for you. It's a third-party account that a lender generally deals with and manages through your servicer of the loan, and that's where you build up your taxes and insurance. And because taxes and insurance typically aren't paid on a monthly basis, it's usually on an annual or biannual basis, that escrow account builds up for you, and then it disperses the amounts to the tax authority and to the insurance company when necessary. So that's like the post-close escrow when we're talking in these scenarios. So you got the pre-close escrow. That's generally dealing with the title office, the attorney, whoever's helping collect all the funds and disperse it. That's where you'll often send your check at the end and everyone goes and signs and is happy, done with the deal. There's that escrow group right there, or that escrow portion. But then there's the post part where we're talking about an escrow account that you save up for taxes and insurance and disperse it throughout the life of your loan. I hope this helped demystify it. The two major things that we deal with when we hear the term escrow, what could they mean? Those are the two things that they typically mean. We talked about pre-closing escrow and post-closing escrow. I hope this helped. My name's Evan Kaufman again, your VA loan educator. Take care.